health care. You know, I'm like a Doberman. Once I got an ankle in my mouth, I'm not letting it go. And the ankle I have in my mouth are these pathetic Republicans in Congress that lied to us to become the majority. The big lie. They were going to cut taxes. They were going to repeal Obamacare. They were going to make, darkness light and lightness dark. Oh, they had great plans. They told us, just give us the House and give us the Senate. Give us the presidency. Oh, you won't believe what we're going to do with it. Well, what have they done with it? What have they done with it? Here we have Iowa's GOP senators say health care law repeal unlikely. Really? This is from the Associated Press. Altoona, Iowa. I know there's an Altoona, Pennsylvania. There's an Altoona, Iowa? No offense. What's with Altoona? The word Altoona. How many Altoonas are there? Anyway, lowering expectations. Now they have to lower expectations. Having built up expectations that they were going to repeal Obamacare and got elected on it in the majority, now they have to lower expectations. Because you're stupid, you see. We're all stupid. We're to be manipulated. Iowa's 2 Republican senators say the long-promised repeal of Obamacare is unlikely, and any final agreement with the Republican-controlled House is uncertain. Is that what they ran on? Hey, look, repeal is unlikely, and with the House, it's uncertain. Vote for me. The comments yesterday by Senators Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst come as the Republican-controlled Senate moves forward on its work to dismantle the 2010 health care bill while facing conflicting demands within their own party and lockstep Democrat opposition. They do like goose-stepping over there, don't they? Both senators are active players in the health care debate. They're active players. They sound like inactive players, if you ask me. You can't repeal it in its entirety, Ernst told reporters after a joint appearance with Grassley in suburban Des Moines. It was a frank admission from loyal conservatives representing a state Republican Donald Trump carried in November. The Senate filibuster rule means that Republicans who control the Senate with 52 seats can't repeal the entire law. Wait a minute. They just said the Republicans can't even agree. So before you even get to the Democrats, they can't hold the 52 together. The Democrats are goose-stepping, and the Republicans are imploding. You've got to have 60 votes, and we don't have 60 votes at this point, Mr. Grassley said. That is a lie. No offense. Yeah, a lot of offense, as a matter of fact. That is a lie, as you'll find out later. The reconciliation process, they should be able to repeal most, if not all, of Obamacare. The president of the Senate is the vice president of the United States. He is the final determination as the chief parliamentarian on what is or is not addressed in reconciliation. Did you know that? The parliamentarian's a bureaucrat. No offense, I don't know who it is. Who cares? The point is the president of the Senate, under our Constitution, the vice president. Look, the vice president of the United States has nothing to do formally under the Constitution except wait around in case the president's taken out or dies in office or is impeached or something like that, and show up every now and then as the president of the Senate. That's it. That's it. So show up as the president of the Senate and take charge of the reconciliation process. We can't do that. We have traditions around here. What are these traditions? Bowing to the left all the time? Lying to your voter base all the time? Let's go on. Grassley in his seventh term. So when he's done, he will have served in the Senate 42 years. 42 years? I can't think, there's nothing I want to do for 42 years. 42 years as a United States Senator? Is that what the framers had in mind? 42 years? Oh, good Lord. He's a senior member of the Finance Subcommittee. Well, of course he's a senior member, which oversees the law's tax and Medicaid provisions. Ernst, elected in 2014, says has been part of an informal GOP healthcare working group discussion. They're in discussions? We've had 8 years to work on. Hey, look, we're in discussions. We're in discussions. And the more these discussions go on, we can't repeal the whole thing. I don't know if we can repeal half the thing. We can't repeal 30% of the thing. Other Senate rules permit the GOP majority to repeal portions of Obamacare without Democratic support, but render other parts of the laws off limits. So here we go. Here's what the Republicans are saying. Number one, this reconciliation process, which is under the 1974 Budget Act, allows issues that relate to spending and borrowing to be addressed by a majority vote of both houses to get around the filibuster rule. They carve out this little piece. They're saying, hey, look, but we need 60 votes. That only takes care of part of it. Paul Ryan was on my radio program several years ago and said we could repeal 85% of Obamacare through the reconciliation process. Do you know how we got Obamacare? Through the reconciliation process. Remember Scott Brown? Oh, yeah, remember him? He got elected to Ted Kennedy's seat. So all of a sudden, the Democrats only had 59 members and not 60. They had a filibuster rule problem. So what did they do? What do the Democrats always do? They use the rules. And they went to the budget reconciliation process, pushed the whole damn thing through. Now the Republicans say, well, we can only repeal part of it through the same process. Does that make sense to anybody? And Senator Cruz and Senator Rand Paul, they've looked at this and said, no, that's not what the Budget Act says in 1974. Ultimately, the Vice President of the United States is the Senate President. He makes the final determination. Well, we can't do that. Hey, Mitch McConnell, hey, we need bipartisanship around. Nothing we can do about this. More on him in a second. That just allows us to tinker around the edges, this reconciliation process. Ernst earlier told Eric Boseth in Altoona, Iowa, businessman who implored her to get rid of the monstrosity. So now Ernst, who was elected as a Tea Party conservative, was on my program, sought my support, and got it. Hey, I don't know, that just works on the edges. Loser. They're all losers. The Democrats know how to win this stuff, even when they're in the minority. The Republicans, pathetic. Speaking of pathetic, Orrin Hatch, another one. He's been in the Senate, I think, 112 years, and he wants to run for re-election, they say. Here it is, the Morning Consult. Senator Orrin Hatch said he wouldn't be opposed to delaying the repeal of the individual mandate in the Affordable Care Act, making one of the most senior Republicans to float the idea. This has been a bugaboo since the day one. Mandating individual coverage for health care. The Supreme Court said, yeah, well, okay, I mean, yes, we can do that. It's a perversion of the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. Mr. Constitution here, Mr. Hatch, who has sat on the Judiciary Committee for 112 years, hey, look, we can work with this, right? We can handle this. So all of a sudden, every piece, every element of Obamacare we can work with, we may have to keep, there's no way to get rid of it. Well, they're liars. They're all liars.